Hi, my name is Nikaela Cruz, and today I'm going to be presenting my History Honors Capstone Project. My research focused on the pedagogy of Black women educators during the Civil Rights Movement, particularly that of educators who worked in the Citizenship education program. This was a network of literacy classes spread throughout the South and taught mostly by women. Most of the students were adults from the Black community who wanted to learn to read so that they could pass literacy tests and register to vote. There's been a lot of research done on Bernice Johnson and Septima Clark, who were both major figures in the founding and spread of the Citizenship education program, but much less on the hundreds of women who worked as teachers, students, and supported the movement in other capacities. So I looked at the pedagogy of these women through a lens of a pedagogy of bridge leadership. And this is an idea based on the concept of bridge leadership developed by author and historian Barbara Ransby. And to quote Ransby herself, this idea is a way of being, a theory of women's leadership that is literally inscribed into her daily work, her practice. This was a useful framework for me to understand the actions and practices of educators to see their goal of developing competent and connected communities. So now I want to share 3 examples from primary source material that illustrate this pedagogy in practice. The first example is a teacher registration form in which nurses, domestic workers, housewives, women who were college students, and from a wide variety of other life experiences and backgrounds were registering or applying to work as teachers. This document demonstrates the desire of women to serve in their local communities and the recognition of different ways of knowing, of different life experiences as valuable and important in forming educators. Secondly, in the early years of Citizenship education program, teachers fashioned most of their classroom materials from the artifacts of daily life. For example, many used cardboard or scraps of paper to fashion blank checks for their students to practice filling in. And this act of creating and repurposing what they had shows an ability to see value and potential in one's community, in the objects of one's daily life, and to breathe new purpose and value into these things that are literally discarded. Finally, educators valued experiential learning. This is perhaps most evident in workshops that teachers attended for training during the summer on Johns Island in South Carolina. Teachers lived with community members, mostly women, for 5 days and accompanied them in their daily work, civic activities, for meals, and for conversations on the porch after dinner. This, to me, really demonstrates a desire to learn from one's community, horizontal structure of relationships instead of a top-down approach to education, and a recognition, again, of different ways of knowing. In sum, a pedagogy of bridge leadership is inscribed into the practices and action of these educators. We can see this in the examples given in the way that educators came from a variety of different professional and life experiences, in the ways that teachers used artifacts of daily life in the classroom, and in the ways that they valued experiential learning and relationships. These women practiced a radical form of accompaniment that helped students and community to understand their place as change makers in their daily lives and to situate themselves in a lineage of resistance.